What unusual body part turns you on? My fiancé and I were talking about things we'd change about ourselves if we had the money. We are both pretty comfy with ourselves, but I mentioned that I wouldn't mind my cheeks not being so big because I feel like I look like a chipmunk. My fiancé got visibly sad and went, "No, I love your chipmunk cheeks," and then squished my face. It's always very nice when your partner loves a thing you may be insecure about. You and your wife sound adorable. Edit. I asked the fiancé why exactly he likes my cheeks so much, and apparently he likes them because they make my face very expressive. He said even when I make pretend sad faces, the cheeks make so expressive that he still feels bad, even if I'm kidding. So, chubby cheeks win today. When I was 17, I was sitting in a hair salon while my friend was getting a cut. This guy around my age came up to me and complimented my knees. He told me I have really nice ones and that he really liked them. I gave some awkward response but really took the compliment to heart. I kept thinking, alright, I've got nice knees. Fuck yeah. And for years I really thought that was one of my best qualities. A few years later my friend is dating this guy. He's hilarious. He's very odd but funny and jokes around a lot. He loves talking to strangers and making fun with them. One day I brought up the knee story and it turns out that he is the knee guy. He remembered messing around with a girl and talking about her knees. He confessed that he was just fucking around and didn't have a thing for knees at all. To this day I wonder if I have nice knees or not, but you just reconfirmed that people are into knees. As an Asian American woman who was once engaged to a white man, I realized he had a particular smell that kinda repulsed me, but I could never put my finger on it. It turns out my ex's diet of fast food and chugging milk by the gallon, especially with eating ice cream at the same time, was part of his body odor chemistry. Now I realize I'm attracted to men who smell like a healthy diet. Pheromones are no joke. 7th grade science teacher said symmetry in faces is generally what equaled physical attractiveness. That used to be the thought, but with the creation of Photoshop and the ability to make images of perfectly symmetrical faces, researchers actually found that people prefer some level of imperfection. Even if only minor changes are made to a natural face, perfect symmetry puts us on the edge of the uncanny valley. This, pretty toes, heels, soles, the whole bit does it for me. Yeah, see I lucked out y'all. My wife takes care of her feet, gets a pedicure regularly, nails painted and done up nice, lotions her feet every morning and night too. Nice and soft all day every day. The best part is, when I told her, she wasn't weird about it at all, even embraced it. She went ahead and started wearing toe rings and anklets. Drives me crazy in the best way. With women I'm pretty basic, nothing out of the ordinary there, but, although I am a, mostly, straight man, a well-toned back on a man is an incredibly sexy thing. Backs, abs, arms, doesn't do anything for me, but when presented with a back where you can see the anatomy of the muscles without it being like too huge, I really wanna touch. I don't know why, but when my girlfriend comes up from our home gym in the basement to cool off, she usually has her hands over her head and I have this unreasonably strong urge to stuff my face in her armpits. She's caught me staring and waggles her eyebrows at me and goes lil freak while she walks by me to the kitchen, and I just sit there like, it's not my thing exactly, but to me being into feet makes as much sense as any other body part in this thread. I think the weirdest thing about feet is the severe aversion to them that some people have. Like, everybody and their mama is out here eating ass in the year of our Lord 2021, but I'm supposed to believe they won't suck a toe. My name is Yasha Kajkira. I'm 33 years old. My house is in the northeast section of Moria, where all the villas are, and I am not married. I work as an employee for the KMU department stores, and I get home every day by 8 p.m. at the latest. I don't smoke, but I occasionally drink. I'm in bed by 11 p.m., and make sure I get 8 hours of sleep, no matter what. After having a glass of warm milk and doing about 20 minutes of stretches before going to bed, I usually have no problem sleeping until morning. Just like a baby. I wake up without any fatigue or stress in the morning. I was told there were no issues at my last checkup. I'm trying to explain that I'm a person who wishes to live a very quiet life. I take care not to trouble myself with any enemies, like winning and losing. That would cause me to lose sleep at night. That is how I deal with society, and I know that is what brings me happiness. Although, if I were to fight, I wouldn't lose to anyone. Not exactly turn on, but I find it extremely hot. Hair, long hair, like the long straight thick kind. Simply BC, I have a fantasy where a girl is on top of me, kissing me, and her hair makes like a little area around our heads, and we're just staring into each other's eyes, with her hair blocking out the world, and it's just us. Total romance. The day a girl does that with me by accident, is the day I know who I'm marrying. Side note, I'm lesbian, in case you were wondering. My wife's chubby, saggy and stretch mark covered stomach. Couldn't tell you if it would be all women's post-baby stomachs or just my soul's, but it just makes me so attracted to her. Experiencing childbirth up close has made me appreciate the female body so much more than before. I play with it a lot and I think she might take it as me making fun of her. Women's hands, specifically, severed, but any are good. No, I am not a serial killer, nor do I have any desire to hack people's hands off. There's just something about the lithe, intricate shape and smoothness that really appeals to me, and the severed base is strangely alluring. Oh, and ankles, I guess. I'm normally not into petite women, but there's this divot that appears near the hips and travels down, outlining the pelvic area. Mons pubis, I think is what that whole area is called, but been a while since my A&P classes, XD, and the thighs. It only seems to appear on petite women and it causes both the pelvis and thighs to become more pronounced on a woman. That is super sexy to me. But I have no clue what it is called or how to describe it better. XD. Hands. I like looking at people's fingers and the way their hands move and stuff. It gets so weirdly captivating. Lips. I love really thick, full lips, or thin ones. Think Michelle Pfeiffer. I hope I spelled that right. Just so nice the way they look when they're resting. Big broad chests, wider shoulders. If you're built like a brick shithouse, I like you. Hands. I know it's not extremely out there or out of the ordinary, but I don't know anybody else who shares the same attraction, and all of my friends find it really odd. But goddamn, a well-sculpted pair of hands and or broad, sweeping hand gestures turn me on to no end. I can't even really explain the kind of hands that I like. Smooth, strong, well-proportioned, or even long, elegant fingers. Sometimes if someone is talking and gesturing really confidently, I'll catch myself just staring at their hands and I have to make a mental effort to stop. Not unusual to me, but a girl's feet. No nail polish, thank you. Also, I guess it's not a body part exactly. Nevertheless, the point where a girl's butt and legs meet, that spot right in the middle semicolon like an X on a treasure map. If she has no bottom zone, I like to slowly explore this area while she's standing, then have her bend over or get on all fours so her pussy is revealed. I think this is really hot, but each to their own. Not really a body part, but when I met my first girlfriend and the first girl I ever truly fell in love with, we were assigned to do a project together for our class before we started dating. Really even knew each other and were joking around. I was drawing something on a poster board and she was being stupid and laid her head down next to my hand while I was drawing. Maybe weird, but when I felt her warm breath on my hand that had been so cold that day because it was early December, I felt so much butterflies in my chest. We dated for 2 years and every time we laid intertwined I loved feeling her warm breath on my neck. I loved falling asleep to the sound of her calm and rhythmic breaths. When she would whisper in my ear, when we would make out, then stop to look at each other with heavy breaths. God, I miss that feeling. I still loved her just as much as I did the moment I fell in love with her, when I felt that one breath on my cold hand when she was just trying to be silly. My girlfriend's armpits. It maybe sounds disgusting, but she almost has no pubes on her body and she doesn't sweat at all, so it's really soft and without weird smells. I'd cry, but I love to softly touch them. She doesn't know this though. I sometimes try to caress them, but she's very ticklish. Anyone else who has something similar? A perfectly shaved and recently washed woman's armpit. I have no idea why, but it just makes me want to smell and kiss and bite it. If it is sweaty or dirty or hairy, then just nope, no attraction at all. But a shaved armpit that just came out of the shower is really attractive, and I don't know why. Since you asked for unusual, here's one for you. Plenty of people are attracted to boobs, and so am I. Not unusual. Some people like small, some like big. I'm in the latter camp. Also not unusual. Most people prefer natural. I'm in the group that prefers implants, specifically XL implants. Still not unusual. What I really find sexy is XL implants that have sagged over time, and especially ones that have pulled the skin between them, in the cleavage, down a bit, creating a little fold. There are several XL implanted stars that have it. Oddly specific. But you asked for unusual. Had a buddy ask me this once, when I was in a rehab in Texas called Strong Tower Ministries. Don't recommend that place unless you wanna be brainwashed and have the owner preaching one thing to everyone in the program and turn around and goes off and does what he was telling all of us not to do, and how it's a sin and all this and that. Anyways, we were selling crosses at a Walmart in Odessa, and somehow we get on the subject. Probably cues of all the beautiful females walking by all day now. He asks me what body part on a woman do you like the most, so I thought about it and tell him, probably their booty cues. I get weak in knees over a girl with a big booty and slim waist, and their boobs not a big deal as long as they aren't just crazy huge. Not a big fan of the huge ass boobs. B or C is fine with me, haha. So I asked him, and I figured dude was gonna say boobs or their butt or maybe even their feet. And the feet thing I do not get at all. Feet are pretty ugly if you ask me, and I do not like people fucking with my feet. Good way to get kicked. Lol. So he comes out of left field and says their armpit, and my head whips around real quick and I said, do what? Their armpit, bro? Question mark. Now we were cracking up. I both died when he said their armpit cues. That would have been one of the last things I would have thought he was gonna say. Good times. Even though we were in a brainwash camp, we still had a good time. Excuse my writing skills, I used to be on Xanax, so yeah, no explanation needed. The spot between the neck and shoulder I like to nibble on. But when I see his arms, even just his forearm, it gets me hot and bothered. Plus I like the indentation between the leg and hip, the line that goes toward the groin area. I'd cry, but I think it's sexier than the actual penis. I'm totally straight, but a penis isn't sexy. I just don't think so, at least. In the absence of anything else, no unusual things turn me on. Just the standard boobs, ass, pussy, and dick. But in combination with my womb fetish, I'm a fan of armpits and hair. Don't ask why, I don't know either. If anyone wants to take a guess as to why, I'd be mildly interested though. Eyebrows. I can't tell you why, but I see a nice set of eyebrows and I go crazy. Love them. Nice and thick, but a nice shape. Natural are better in my opinion. If a girl gets them threaded or plucked, it's a huge turn on for me. To attempt an explanation, I heard that people sometimes are attracted to features that they themselves possess. My eyebrows are a little thick, similar to how I like them to be on a potential partner. That probably has something to do with it. Am I alone in this? I haven't personally met anyone who likes nice eyebrows as much as I do. Would be interested to see some thoughts from you all. I heard that people generally are attracted to features that they themselves. This goes back to our primal instincts. Tall, strong, masculine and muscular men are the most widely accepted as attractive and mate-worthy because they can provide. Women with healthy hair, shapely bosoms, wide hips, women who are feminine that can cook and are good with children are accepted as the most attractive to men because they are seen as worthy mothers and children bearers. We have evolved in our thinking now and have accepted social changes, but some things in our nature do not change, much like other species in the animal kingdom. average to slightly muscular man's legs, but they have to be naturally hairy. No shaving those legs, my dudes. And hairy armpits. Don't shave that, it's half. And there is something to be said about nice forearms too. I know a lot of people prioritize those guns, but some nice forearms before they get overly muscular and veiny, those can be hot too. I am a gay man, FYI. Not sure if chicks dig these sorts of things or not, and everyone is different regardless. Ah, wow, okay, I have a few. That spot right between back and butt, especially on moderately fit women with butts, doesn't work if there is no butt. Men's hands, but only if they are calloused and bigger than mine. I don't care about your soft little typing fingers. Bonus points if there's marks from lots of use. A man that knows how to use his hands is noses, just noses. I like noses a lot. I don't know how to explain why. Belly buttons. When I see someone's belly button, I'm reminded that this person has a mom that loves them, feelings just like mine, hopes and dreams, and that I need to be kind and loving to them because they're a person too. And that needs to happen before I find anyone attractive because I'm a horrible person that needs a reminder that people are people. I'm working on it. I don't know if this counts, but mouths. Like, I told a girl this and she started sending me Snapchats of her just like, rubbing her tongue on her teeth, and it fucking worked. I have an intense oral fixation. The same girl I later hooked up with. This was all discussed beforehand. I'm a dom, she's a sub. So when she was restrained and blindfolded, I sat on her hips, put on latex gloves like a dentist or drive, and got a tongue depressor and just kinda played around in there a bit. Here's the thing, it was her idea. Knowing my oral fixation, I was a little skeptical. I shouldn't have been. Jesus fuck. Well, it's not that much the body part but rather how it's presented. For example, the outline of a naked body is not as sexy as an oversized shirt to me. Voices can be sexy as hell, demeanors, touch, etc. etc. Heck, even non-sexual stuff can feel quite good, like a hand massage, or when your hairstylist is, without a clip, taking care of the cares at the base of your neck. On the other hand, a bad sex video is just meh, and even a good one is nothing if you are not in the mood. So, it's not about the thing, but the context, I guess, mostly. That said, I don't think I found arousal for any unusual body part that I know of. By itself, genitals, thighs, ass, boobs, and that's pretty much it. Well, maybe the back a few times, but mostly because it leaves place for imagination too. As a side note, I have met girls that were turned on by either the collarbone or the V thing in the waist, as well as Adam's apple. On guys, the weirdest thing I heard was eyebrows. Girls' stomachs, and it's unfortunate that so many are too self-conscious to be comfortable showing their tummy. But I totally understand where that comes from. I've dated girls who wouldn't let me touch or even see their tummy because of insecurities, and I just want to gently touch it, have my hand rest on it, and kiss it. I just love girls' tummies. I fucking love feet. A nice 5 or 6 size, white painted toes or a French manicure. Throw some white sneakers on that girl and I will worship that shit. Ariana Grande's feet are the something sent from God. I would let her use my head as a footrest 24/7. Small hands are nice too. Makes everything look bigger. Short girls with small feet. Hipster bangs. Small feet wearing white sneakers. Bit thick but not fat. In a tight blue or black dress and decent boobs and butt. I will hump you forever. Oh yeah, and dark eyes. Like you haven't slept in a while. Bags and shit. While I'm at it, small ears and a symmetrical small nose and a nice jawline. Cheek dimples, a gummy smile, think Alicia Silverstone, and a nice midriff showing. Also, the stranger the eye color, the more I like it. My wife has multicolored eyes. Bit of green, blue, brown, and I love them. Probably the weirdest is I'm attracted to really nice skin, like untampered, smooth, flawless skin. I think it's because I've had eczema since I was a kid and have crappy skin, so I appreciate nice skin on others. Appreciate that makes me sound like Buffalo Bill from Sotla, but I really don't want to scan women and wear it. Once met a girl with some well-pronounced canine teeth and found that oddly sexy. Not full-on vampire fangs. I'm not into that, just the tiniest bit longer and pointier than average. Not even the kind of thing I'd usually notice. Weird fluke that I happened to catch it that one time. Guess it kind of triggered some primal instinct. Some part of my lizard brain figured, oh yeah, that's a girl I could go really mammoth hunting with.